I've been so busy with dealing with the studio stuff, new play stuff, this stuff, Patreon, notjustanime.com. This is my first chance to get to this TV spot in which I see Superman again in the fetal position. So they're reusing stuff. I don't really like to watch TV spots of certain things, but I promise you this. This is the last TV spot I'll watch, because I know they're probably going to have like 2 or 3 of these TV spots. I will promise I will watch this TV spot and then the official trailer, and then I'm done. All right, let's go. Wow, that score sounds so good.
Yes, it does. That band
he
big,
came out
bro.
like
He
a
got
boss.
he got some
He
bulked
came
up.
out like a boss.
He bulked up.
They reusing the same stuff. There it is. Oh, that's nothing. Wait. Freak this TV spot stuff.
His head looked like a bobblehead, though, bro. I could just see the bobblehead moving around.
Hold on. That looked good. That one's. Look at him fly.
It looks dirty.
Look at him fly.
Like the face.
DC rises, bruh. DC rises. I need you to understand that first and foremost. I'm gonna give it a buck with you guys. But you want to talk,
yes.
So talk.
The face part or whatever, like him flying, everything like flipping around, like doing that. It looked derpy as hell. It looked like a bobblehead. It looked like his head just bouncing around. It just don't look right to me. I don't like that image. And some looking at another view of this. I just think about. I was looking at someone's stuff, and I'm gonna. They were talking about this. Well, they showed an image of it. The Man of Steel. When Superman flew up and we saw him or whatever, just the way it looked, it looks more realistic in a way. This looks more. You could sell like it looks. You could see like the computer image or CG or whatever like that. That's not a good look, especially for a new Superman movie. This is not. It looked like his head. It was just with the computer. I don't like that. And then when his head moved around, I thought I was looking at a bobblehead. I just don't. It's just a bad look. Like seeing him fly is dope.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to see him fly like this.
That's the point, though. That's the point of this shot is the flight. The flight looks so good.
Like look, go back
and look. And when you see the back of his head, it looks really good.
Right. It looks way better. And then look at it. It looked like you look like a blue screen.
The problem is
it just don't look right.
This CG is clearly unfinished
at all.
Look at this edging. This is like poorly done. And this edging, and it makes me think like the movie might be shot and the filming is done, but the post rendering and the touching up of the CG is clearly not. So I think that this lining on the shoulder and this outline, it looks horrible.
I hope we don't see that.
This looks horrible from a CGI perspective. Because here's what's happening. They put him on a rig. They're having him like this, and they're blowing wind in his face.
Right.
But they're only cropping his real face and then putting his real face on a completely CGI rendered body, which is what they did with Henry Cavill in Man of Steel as well. But the difference was
his look real.
Yeah.
His look fake.
His that we saw in Man of Steel was in the actual finished film. When we saw that flight, it was in the finished film. This film's not finished. So I could see that, and I could clearly see that his head, and it just looks, you could clearly see it's not attached to his body. You could clearly tell that's not even like his real body. It's just his real head. Absolutely, it looks weird. But I'm looking past that. I'm looking at...
What's the point of the spin?
I'm looking at the finished product.
This is the finished
product. Imagine this finished. flying in that fortress. I like that flight pattern. You see how he has arms to the side?
Oh, you don't want him to.
That's my favorite Superman flight pose.
Oh, you don't like him when he like.
And then I like this one.
Okay.
I like this one a lot. Like, so this one is cheesy classic.
Like this one.
Yeah, that's the cheesy classic one. I'm okay with that.
One.
It's not my favorite, bro. I dig this flight pattern, and then I dig the like not straight. You feel me? Look at me, not straight with that curve and the bows on it. When you're like,
it seemed like when he goes like this one he could take off even faster because
it's a power fly.
Yeah,
that's when freaker. That's the shit I like, and I like this one. So
I didn't like the spin either. The
spin was all dope. All that is dope.
What would be the point of the spin though?
He was going between a cliff, man.
Right? Why not go up?
Look, he was going between a cliff. Why would he go up? That's slower.
Not for him?
Yes, even for him. If he goes through a cliff, it's faster than going over it. Because you're traveling a longer distance. I feel like, I don't know what people's thoughts are on this, but this is true. This CG looks bad. And this looks like a real face and CG everything.
A bobblehead.
And quite poor CG. So I would say James is getting a little. He should have waited.
Yes.
You should have waited. This should have released during the Super Bowl. Like, are you trying to push a full trailer for the Super Bowl? What decision was made? I feel like he's a little excited, which he should be, because of the reception from this trailer. The reception from the first teaser was amazing, and I know James just wants to. Oh, you guys like that? Well, watch this. He's getting a little bit ahead of himself. If I was his advisor, I would have said, "Don't put this out. I don't think this looks good as far as the CG render." But I understand it. I love this TV spot because I seen him fly. The takeaway from this is, how does he look flying? And in my opinion, this, when it's finished, is going to look fantastic. Because, you know how I know? Let me show you all how I know. Look at this.
This is a finished scene.
No, I'm going to show you the exact thing where I know this CG is going to be on point. Because that monster is on point. This fire, all this is on point. That CG is crisp, clear, and fire.
Because if you go back,
it's only gonna get better.
If you go back, that's him taking roasted. Yeah.
Yes, but look at this though. That is it looks like it's real in this world.
Yeah.
It looks like the lighting of it. It looks like it's all part of the same world. That means that the visual effects artist focused on this first. They probably had 30, 40 guys working on just this monster CGI render earlier in production. But this Superman flight part, they probably had them just working on it recently. And they probably had a couple guys on there to make the TV spot. And you could see the poor quality of work. They rushed this thing. So in my opinion, I think that James is just excited. And he said, freaking man, I can't hold my excitement. Oh my God, guys, give me a TV spot to drop of them flying. Do that. Make that happen. And even though, it looks bad, he still, he had to have watched it.
It's not good.
He shouldn't have let this go out.
Yeah, this is
But he got
good.
excited and he did. So, it is what it is. I wouldn't have done it, but I'm assuming he was just too excited and he wanted to push this TV spot out, which lets me know this. It seems to me he may be releasing a trailer for the Super Bowl, a full trailer one. That's what this tells me, because this should have been pushed to the Super Bowl. By the time the Super Bowl comes, this would have looked way better. And this would have been enough excitement to get people excited. But it tells me that he's like, nah, let me just push this TV spot out now that I was going to save for the Super Bowl. Guys, just push it out now. Put that out so we could do a trailer for the Super Bowl. So that's what I think. Once again, I could be wrong. I don't know everything. I know some things. And that's what I take from this. Overall, is it more damage than it is awesome? Absolutely not. Because people who know the CG's not done. This is going to look way better by the time the film comes out. So I take away from this that this is freaking amazing because the way he's flying looks beautiful. The way it looks is beautiful. Man of Steel is a different type. This is more modern, in my opinion. The Man of Steel has that cinematic look. Zack Snyder was using blur effects. So he'll show, and then he'll blur, zoom in, blur, and then go. He was using techniques to hide the
actual look of it,
the CG, how bad the CG would have looked. He used like a blur effect, zoom in and blur real quick, and then transition into it. Like when he would go fast, he'll go whoo, and then you'll see him pop up. When you know, you know. But this is fluid for the most part.
This is the finishing scene.
There's
right
no
here.
blur here. It's like, look,
Yeah.
that's all him. Right? So if the CG looks good, it will look great. But for right now, clearly the Man of Steel flights look better. If you're talking about how it looks in a finish, and it should, because Man of Steel was a finished movie. This is not.
Let's get on this Lex Luthor.
Coming out the thing like a boss.
So this reminds me of not Superman
I think this is
Returns,
giving
Superman
away too
2,
much.
Superman 2, whatever. Because Superman Return, when Lex came to the Fortress of Solitude
Superman
and took
2. Superman 2.
Yeah, took the kryptonite. I mean, took the crystals, the Kryptonian crystals.
Whoa, go to Superman 2. Superman, it was done first in Superman 2.
Oh, when Lex
With
first showed up.
non-Elsa, with
yeah.
Zod, and what's her name? Ursa? I think it was Ursa.
I don't remember. I forgot. But
Remember
anyway,
we changed the powers? Yeah.
So this Superman has been. That means he's been around for a very long time. If Lex knows about,
I told you he's already been Superman for at least a couple years. He's been Superman. The world knows who he is. He already has, bro.
So Lex been to the Fortress of Solitude. If that's what it's telling me, then
my prediction is that he's been Superman for 4 to 6 years.
And we see that Lex is walking off his chopper or plane with the dude who got the U on, who is apparently the one who was walking with Superman with the handcuffs. Look.
Yeah, I saw him right there.
Clear as day. So
I feel like they should have did that. Why you do that? Actually, this is giving away too much.
Is it?
Look at this in back here.
So it's like with the U, everybody is saying that he might be the main version of for Superman, another version of Superman who was powerful but bad.
People think Bizarro. People think Ultraman.
Ultraman. Not Bizarro. Ultraman.
We'll see.
But Lex Luthor running this type of shit, this is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Having this going on, Lex is running this because Superman was in handcuffs.
It's great.
Superman was in handcuffs and that smoke. But this Lex Luthor right here, even though like you were saying it, he looked like he worked out. It looked like a size, like he boosted up. Maybe he boosted up some muscle, and he coming out looking like I'm about to wreck some shit. He has this look. I'm about to wreck some shit.
Remember what I said. Those of you guys, feel free to fact check me. Check Jody's Corner. My Superman movie is something like what Superman movie I would make. Something like that. I made it 7 years ago. I made it 6 or 7 years ago. And
I think it was the.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I feel like this is showing too much. I think that we know that he's going to the Fortress of Solitude now because we see them in the ice. We see that the Fortress of Solitude was destroyed in the teaser trailer with him holding the robot that clearly this man destroyed. We see that as personal. And then we also can denote that, like I said, like a lot of you guys have said it too. It's easy to make this up. Like, okay, he got access to kryptonite and Superman got kryptonite effed up and beat up. Someone put hands on him. And it looks like it was him with Lex Luthor. So I think that Lex Luthor probably had access to a kryptonite bullet that was in the gun and shot him somehow while they were fighting at the fortress, and that turned the tables and made him completely wipe him. Or he used kryptonite from the fortress to affect Superman, and that made him win the fight. So he gets wrecked at home, loses everything, calls Crypto for help.
You talking about from the following when he fell from the sky?
Yes, when in the beginning, this right here, E-Man, is after he came here. He came here, and this is the result: beat you up.
And you think this could be the case of
this is them, in my opinion. They're showing up. This is the fortress. There's nothing here. It's the fortress. Oh, so this is where you live, huh? Guy in the back beats him up, laces him, cleaned his clock. This is after getting beat up by the dude in the back behind Lex, and the effect of kryptonite, in my opinion, because to be that bloody and that damaged, kryptonite is really the only type of thing that could really do that, unless you're fighting somebody
who's more powerful,
incredibly, like something like a Doomsday, Dark Side, big tier type shit, Imperiex, big dog shit. So I don't think that this character could do that much damage to Superman without kryptonite or something
having the
involved.
Same abilities, or having the same, like, close to having the same abilities. You can.
Nah, Superman ain't taking an L in a one-on-one like that. He not taking a L in a one-on-one like that for anybody other than the people that I mentioned, and a couple of other Metallo, because the kryptonite. But basically, they're doing it looks like James is doing what I wanted. In that YouTube video that I made, the Superman movie, I said, I want Superman. I think it was Man of Steel 2. People ask, what would your Man of Steel 2 be, Jody? This was way back in like 2018. I said, this is what it needs to be. A mad, crazy, jealous Lex Luthor with doing the muscle, pretending to be loved by the people. Maybe do the presidential run where he's like an official and the people love him, but he's really evil and hates Superman, and he uses that power to manipulate things. That type of Lex Luthor with the muscle being Metallo. And it looks like James is doing the Lex Luthor as the brain muscle manipulator with the capital and the awareness. Maybe Lex Luthor's loved in this world. We don't know. Because clearly there's people protesting against Superman, right? Those are going to be sympathizers to who Lex Luthor probably is. Right. And then that guy in the back, he just chose to do, instead of doing Metallo, he chose this nigga.
Because, as I said before, he was walking, holding Superman in handcuffs, walking with him with the army. So
Lex Luthor are pitting the people against Superman. That's what he does.
So maybe
Lex is the one to challenge Superman's morality.
And to the people, to the people, to them loving Superman, to see that they need him.
They hate him. Some of them hate Superman.
But this is to show them that they need him, to love him. After the bullshit that with Lex is going on.
That's what Superman needs to do. But from Lex's standpoint, he's controlling the media, manipulating the media, and manipulating the people to turn against Superman. If you have the people, that's where the real power is. Like he's jealous of Superman. He's jealous of
because he wants his power.
That too, but he's also jealous of how people fancy him a god. They fancy Superman a god, and he's a cheater because he has powers. But Lex should he wants to be seen that way too. He has everything genius. That a man. Yeah,
he get any woman that he wants. Cars,
exactly.
all that.
He's supposed to be the human icon that we respect and want to be, but he's been outshined by a Kryptonian
that can fly.
Correct, and that's where the jealousy comes from. It's like, nigga, I've done everything that I can do to be the best human on this planet. I'm a billionaire. I'm smart. I got women. I got hoes. I got men who respect me. But they respect him more. He got powers. I ain't got no powers. That's cheating.
He's saving lives in all different places and go wherever he want to go. I got to get on a freaking plane or build a jet to fly all these places.
Maybe Lex is open to school and it gets outshined by the fact that Superman saved somebody out of a tree or a burning bush. You know what I mean? I could just see it on the news. Lex Luthor, breaking news, Superman, and he's just sitting there watching like, motherfucker. Yeah, watching him. They were covering him opening up the school for the ghetto kids, opening up a big, huge multiplex complex of fair subsidized housing. And when they were covering it, they just covered over his coverage. Oh, breaking news from Daily Planet. Superman is doing, and he's just like, you bitches.
We love these. This alien is saving our lives out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But Lex is still a bitch, though.
time will tell. Ladies, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think. We out. DC rises. Peace.